Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Gear Up. Here's what's in store for you today. 2 more games are added to the Christmas Day schedule. An NCAA coach wins his 300th game. More trouble for Ndamukong Suh. The 49ers are set to build a new stadium. And a few people are injured in a post-game celebration. I'm Michael Peters, and you're watching Gear Up. First, some MLB news. Earvin Magic Johnson, arguably Los Angeles' best athlete of all time, is part of a group that is interested in buying the Los Angeles Dodgers. Also interested are Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban and former Dodgers owner Peter O'Malley. The Los Angeles Angels trade catcher Jeff Mathis to the Toronto Blue Jays for left-handed pitcher Brad Mills, who spent most of last season in AAA. 3 days ago, the Angels traded for catcher Chris Iannetta. Mathis, who has a lifetime .194 batting average, was due for arbitration and likely would have earned at least $1.5 million, so trading him provided them some cost relief. Now some NBA news. As the NBA and the Players Association continue finishing their tentative deal, 2 more games are added to the Christmas Day schedule. Orlando Magic at Oklahoma City Thunder, and Los Angeles Clippers at Golden State Warriors. The other 3 games that were previously scheduled were Boston at New York, Miami at Dallas in an NBA Finals rematch, and Chicago at Los Angeles Lakers. Now some NCAA basketball news. Ohio State head coach Thad Matta picks up his 300th career win despite Jared Sullinger being out due to an aggravated disc in his back. The second-ranked Buckeyes defeated Texas Pan American yesterday 64-35 to improve to 8-0. 1 Kentucky slips by 5 North Carolina in a thriller, 73-72. Freshman Anthony Davis blocked John Henson's shot in the final seconds to extend the Wildcats' home winning streak to 39 games. Now some NCAA football scores. 1 LSU destroys 14 Georgia after a slow start, 42-10 to win the SEC title. 3 Oklahoma State crushes rival 10 Oklahoma, 44-10 to win the Big 12 championship. 20 Clemson defeats 5 Virginia Tech, 38-10 to win the ACC championship. 24 Southern Miss stunned 6 Houston, 49-28 to win the Conference USA title and give Houston its only loss. 9 Oregon wins the first ever Pac-12 title by defeating UCLA 49-31, and 15 Wisconsin gets revenge on 13 Michigan State by defeating them 42-39 and winning the Big Ten title. Now some news. Thousands of fans stormed the field and tore down the goalpost in Stillwater, Oklahoma, after Oklahoma State defeated arch-rival Oklahoma, snapping an 8-game losing streak in the series. However, this left at least 13 people injured and at least 2 in critical condition. Some fans were trampled, and 1 person fell at least 15 feet on the concrete during a wild celebration. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that got injured. Notre Dame reserve quarterback Dane Christ will not return next season. Christ met with Coach Brian Kelly on Friday to pursue his release from Notre Dame, the Chicago Tribune reported today. Kelly said he granted Christ permission to speak to other schools. Now for some NFL news. Detroit Lions defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh crashed his car into a tree in downtown Portland but was unharmed. Police say Suh wasn't impaired and was cooperative with officers following the accident, which took place around 1:15 Saturday morning. He lost control of the 1970 Chevrolet Coupe he was driving, which hit a curb, light pole, drinking fountain, and tree. Suh is a graduate of Portland's Grant High School and was also suspended by the NFL for 2 games for stomping on the arm of Packers guard Evan Dietrich Smith. The San Francisco 49ers and the city of Santa Clara announced on Friday that they have secured funding for a new stadium about 45 miles from where the 49ers play now. Officials say loans were the last major piece of the project. The goal is to open the new stadium in 2015. Quarterback Donovan McNabb has cleared waivers on Friday, 1 day after being cut by the Minnesota Vikings, and is a free agent for the first time in his 13-year career. Now for this week's edition of Mike Speaks Out. The question this week is, should teams be penalized for the behavior of their fans? Absolutely. Many sports fans get out of line during their favorite team's games, and they know that they are the only ones that can be penalized, so they continue doing it. However, if their team got penalized also, it might make some sports fans think twice about their actions. Instead of being viewed as heroes for fighting for their team, they will instead be hated by the other fans for hurting the team. Sports stadiums should be a place where all fans for all teams can go and enjoy a game without having to worry about opposing fans harassing or even hurting them. Earlier this year, San Francisco Giants fan Brian Stowe got beaten up at Dodger Stadium and is still in critical condition. If a rule would have been put in place that the teams would be penalized for bad fan behavior, this could have been prevented, as could have many other tragedies. Now for some this day in sports history. In 1943, Commissioner Landis announces any baseball club may sign Negroes, and in 1977, in the NFL's 5,000th game, Cincinnati defeats Kansas City 27-7. Winter hasn't even started yet, but for those of you who like to start planning early, here are my top 5 sports vacations. At 5, we have National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. What's better than getting to see the complete history of our national pastime in person, including the bats, cleats, and gloves of the game's best players of all time. Also, there are some very competitive games there throughout the year between some of the nation's best travel teams. At 4, we have Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Getting to see the best youngsters in the game of baseball play and a very high chance of being on national television sounds like a great vacation to me. Plus, it's affordable, unlike some MLB games. At 3, we have ESPN The Weekend. This vacation combines many things into one trip. Disney World, getting to see your favorite sports shows live, and possibly meeting some of the top athletes in the sports world while basking in the Florida sun and over 70-degree temperatures. What could be better? The next 2 vacations. At 2, we have the NFL Pro Bowl. Who doesn't want to take a trip to beautiful Hawaii while seeing the NFL's best players compete? Sure, the game is meaningless, but the trip would be very memorable. And at 1, we have MLB Spring Training. What could be better than getting out of the chilly weather and into the warm air and sunshine of Florida or Arizona? Plus, you get to see your favorite players, maybe even some future Hall of Famers, play baseball, and possibly get an autograph at one of the many sessions. Thank you for watching today's episode, and have a wonderful day.